Hey guys, so I've got some projects to share with you. Finally put Agador to sleep yesterday. I decided it was time. I just delaying the inevitable. So, anyways, um, it's gonna suck. I only had her for like 2 months, and she was the rat that I was most attached to out of the three. But you know, so I guess I'll end my little sob story and get going with the share. I'll have to show you the other two girls. Opal's just the sweetest. She was the smallest out of the three, and she's the sweetest out of the three. And Robin Williams, she's psycho. That's all I can say about Robin. So, me and her usually get into it when I'm putting her back in the cage, because as soon as she sees the cage, she does makes a flying leap for it, and then I have to catch her in midair, and she's screaming bloody murder. So I got an ornament done, and this is just a prototype. I'll probably do a tutorial on it, because I think it turned out super cute. I made a bug. The reason why it's just a prototype right now, not only because it was my first, but because it doesn't hang right. I think the spiders hung okay, even though usually the butt beads on the spiders were so big. I think they hung pretty well most of the time, is because, well, not only were they upside down. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the spiders hang upside down. But, anyways, this ornament is bottom heavy, and I made it out of a nightlight bulb, a burnt out one. And I got this idea off Pinterest, and this one person that I saw, made the wings out of thick wire, and they like curly cued it. You know what a curly cue looks like. And they had like a large curly cue for each of the wings, and I'm sure it's a combination of inexperience and not the right tools, but after a couple attempts at doing it, I had to ask myself how much of my wire I was willing to destroy trying to do this, and so I decided to do something different. So my mom had given me this a couple years ago, and I couldn't figure out what to use it for, but obviously not going to get rid of it. It's just beaded wire, really thin wire. And I just did a couple loops, and then the bottom, or the bug's legs, are it's just scrap wire. I attached the legs like I'd attach the legs on a spider, and just beaded them like I would on a spider, but I just used seed beads to make life easy on myself. The antennae is just scrap wire. Now the head is made out of Model Magic, and I have these. I swear these packages are like 8 years old. What I did to color it was I just dabbed a marker into it. You could use any juicy marker, and you just dab it into the Model Magic and it will color it. I would have preferred using polymer over Model Magic, but I couldn't because I had already painted this with Mod Podge, and it's called Twinkles, but it's basically just clear glue with sparkles in it. So I'd already painted it, and both those have varnish in it. And so I can't stick it in the oven if it has varnish in it. So I think next time I'd make the head and attach the head before I painted the butt. So the eyes, I'm going to try and hold them still for you. The eyes are watch gears out of a watch. And I think they're 2 different sizes, but you know, I figured the bug would be kind of quirky looking anyway, so I didn't care if the gears were different sizes. And then these are some tiny, the smallest googly eye that you can buy. I don't remember how big they are. I think they're 2mm or 3mm. But I think he turned out super cute. I like him, and hopefully he's not too scary for some of y'all like the spider is. Okay, so then, so yeah, hopefully I'll get, a tutorial on that soon going. And by the way, I'm sure nobody remembers, but I had finished a tutorial for another ornament, and I uploaded it all and was editing it. And I usually do a final run through of the video before I post it. And then I realized when I was making sure everything was a-okay that a segment of the video was not there, and I could not find it on my computer. So I had to just trash the video, and I'll do another tutorial when I have the supplies available to do it. Because it was it was the Matchbox ornament. So, yeah. But that's why that never came up, is because I lost a part of it. So I made some cards. Now this is a set of 4. There's Friends Forever, Miss You, Happy Day, and Needed You to Know I'm Here for You. I basically used, besides the sentiment, which I basically used 4 stamps on each card. These are 2 leaves, bunches, and then I'd use the sentiment, and then, I think the dragonfly came with those leaves. It was those Dollar Studio G stamps, and this bird came with a Birdcage Studio G one I had bought one time. I made these to give to people, because I know not everybody is a card maker, and I just wanted something that I could whip up really quick, and give as a gift. And so yeah, I think it turned out pretty cute. I got a little cocky when I was doing my speed stamping, and I stamped the Miss You horribly crooked, but that's part of my signature, because I'll never sign my cards. Honestly, I'm just too lazy. So, I don't feel like pulling out the stamp. I don't feel like signing my name. I don't feel like cleaning the stamp. So, so those are gonna be gifted to somebody, and then I also made this set to say Happy Day, to say hello. The Happy Day and the hello and this flower were a Studio G set, the dollar set. And then this flower and this flower were part of a set, and I think there was another flower in it too, but I have all my stamps mixed up. I have no clue. I think they turned out really cute. And I stamped the envelopes with flour, just because they were white, just to stick something on there. And I never line the inside with paper unless it's too dark that you won't be able to see writing. 1, because I'm lazy, and 2, because I just don't want to use my supplies to stamp insides of cards. So there's 2 sets for 2 different people. And I was making Valentine's Day cards before Agador got sick, and then when she got sick, I just stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. Um, but I managed to get 3 done before that happened, and this one, this is an Inkadinkado stamp. All of these hearts, except this one, this was a punch out that I punched out. And this bird came from a sticker set that my mom bought me from Walmart. And then I just punched out these music notes. So, as usual, my cards are extremely simple. It just gets so bored so quickly. So this one, glitter paper, I put a strip of it here. This is some scrap from that pet pad from when I did the mini album. And then I was trying to use stamps that I hadn't used yet. And these jars were part of the stamps that I hadn't used yet. And I used the Le Plume markers that Bonnie gave me on them. And same Inkadinkado stamp. And then this is a foam heart. And it was my goal this time to use a bunch of my foam stickers, but I had finished this one after, right before Agador got sick, and so I just didn't make any more cards. Here's one that I made. This one's super simple, but I really wanted to use those giant chunky foam stamps that are highly unpopular. And there's, they're hard to use. They're not very detailed, so it's hard to, at least it's hard for me to work them into cards because of the lack of detail in the stamp. But I really wanted to try and get at least one of my giant chunky foam stamps used this time. And so, turns out these foam stamps hold a heck of a lot of ink. This love stamp I got from Bonnie, and I embossed it, and this background paper came from Leslie, the mat on the back. Yeah, okay. And then the last project that I got done, I'm gonna wheel it up here because it's big. So, I got this bottle done. Try and get it all in view for just a second. I made this bottle for Leslie. My goal in this bottle was to try and use tons of laces. Make it really full looking like some of the pro shabby chicers are able to make their projects. But like usual, my simplistic habit seems to have prevented me from sticking on tons of laces. I managed to get 4 on before I stopped. So I painted the bottle with pink paint. And then I mixed some Mod Podge and glitter up, fine glitter, and then painted that on there. So there's a shimmer, and it kind of has a rough feel, which isn't my favorite. I think I added too much glitter to the Mod Podge, but the Mod Podge is white, and so I can't see the amount of glitter that's mixed in, so it's hard for me. I think maybe if I added less glitter, it would have been a little bit better. So, on the stem of the bottle is 2 laces. Not too much more to talk about there. I made a necklace with this. I love this chain. I think it's really cool. It's like a double linked chain. But it also makes it kind of sucky because there isn't really much room to attach charms and stuff. So I felt it was best use for this, and this is an earring that I probably got from Shea. Let's see. I've got this really wide sheer lace that you can see the sparkles through all the way around the bottle. And I've got this ribbon I got from the thrift store on the bottom, and then the bottom, the very bottom, is felted. This bottle has a really deep cone indentation on the bottom, and I tried to glue the felt all the way around the cone, but the felt kept wanting to fold on me. So I stretched out the felt a bit, but you've still got this divot going on. Okay. Up top here, Leslie gave me this awesome trim. So this picture, Leslie, I know you don't have a kitten, but this is the only picture that I had printed out before my printer broke like a year ago. So, it's the only one I had that's small. And I've got like smaller images in the Tim Holtz stacks, but his papers are really, really dark, and it's hard to see much on his papers. So that's the one I used, and I just coated it in Mod Podge so it didn't have quite that papery feel. You know, it's got a nice, sleek, shiny feel. This is an applique off of, I still have no clue what they're called. It was probably in my grandmother's generation that these were popular, but you'd have identical appliques, and then you'd iron them onto each shoulder of your dress. And then between the two appliques would hang like 3 strands of pearls. I still don't know what those are called. But, got this from yesterday's general store, and this is the last of the 2 appliques that came off that whatever majigger. Figured it'd be perfect on there. So these 2 flowers I made. I wish I put this pink one down here because it's a little bit too frou-frou for up top, but you know, it was too late when I had added the glue and stuck it on there. It was just too late to change it. And then these 3 flowers Leslie made. And this majigger, I have no clue what it is. I assume I got it from Shea, but it was very shabby, so I stuck it on there. And this is a earring of a bird by its nest. Again, I wish I had put this down here somewhere, but I had already glued it on there. So that is the finished bottle. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So, even though I didn't add as many layers of lace as I had wanted to, I'm satisfied with the end result. So, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.